Warning, the following video has flashing lights and also includes content that may be deemed inappropriate for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Ohio Cryptid Researchers, aka OCR, I see Richard has made his way into the darkness of the fox den and past my Dogman guards to awaken me from my slumber once again as we do go Dogman hunting. Richard, I do appreciate you bringing me nutrients. I have been sleeping for so long, and I'm totally parched now that you have helped replenish lost nutrients. It is once again time for you and I to take a walk into the madness known as the Dogman.
Stood up. I said, oh my god, it's a werewolf, and everybody in the car freaked out.
My creatures of the night, yes, welcome back to another episode of Midnight Lycanthropy here on LordeStarfox Radio. We do have a very special guest slash host tonight. Obviously, all of our hosts and guests are very special, yet Richard is legit down in Werewolf Square. He has some very interesting things that have occurred down in Ohio. Again, we sit around the late night fire and burn the timber into the early hours of the morning. You are officially tuned in to the stomping ground of the Midnight Society. Richard, my friend, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good, Kenny. How you doing?
Been busy? One thing you will learn about me, unfortunately, my worst quality, I own it, I accept it, is I am not on time for anything. It is brutal. It's been something that has stuck with me since I was 11 back in high school. It's not, like I said, a great quality, yet, hey, I'm here, so I do apologize.
Hey, that's fine. It's good to be on the show.
Yes, I do appreciate you. Would you like to tell the audience a little bit about yourself before we start diving into some really creepy things?
My name is Richard Mccandlish, and I actually the Dogman thing and all the other cryptids out there, that really wasn't my forte. Actually, I just since I was a kid at 10 years old, my buddy Rusty, which was a little bit older than me, and he went on ahead and he took me out and showed me this place and said, "Hey, you need to hear this." And it kind of started from there. We sat on this bridge, old trestle bridge on this creek deep in the woods, and kept hearing this big splash noise, and couldn't figure out what it was. But later on in the years, we knew what it was. It was they call it Bigfoot, and but from there, I was turned into the Bigfoot hunter. I just couldn't get enough, and actually I just I trailed it so much that it's cost me quite a lot of dear friendships, and it cost me my first marriage, and because I just, I had to go see it and document it, because, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And but through the years, as I was doing that, just about maybe I've been doing this for a little over 50 years, being a researcher, and I ran across this critter out there in the forest about 7 years ago. And I seen tracks earlier, like in 2016, and I trailed it, and it just every time, it seems like every time, Kenny, I'm out there looking for Bigfoot, I run into other stuff, and like for instance, I caught I'm waiting to catch a Bigfoot, and I'm in a gilly, like I said, 7:10 in the morning, right between January and February, and I captured what they call the Ohio howler. I'll accept that, but getting the live footage of him 10 feet in front of me, but the other critters that I've captured, when you're looking for Bigfoot, these things seem to be around where he's at for some reason. And like I said, I've just been doing this, all my life, and like I said, the pictures that I sent you, there's a lot more stuff that's involved, Kenny, with that, and a lot of it is I was down there at the cabin, and I spent 5 years alone down there, and I originally went down there to write music for Atlantic Records, and then some things happened down there, big thump on the roof, and I'm like, whoa, what's that? I thought, big branch off a tree hit the roof, and then I go out and check and didn't see anything, and then as days went, and then I'm sitting in the chair, and then all of a sudden I hear something breathing at the bottom of my door, at the front door of the cabin. It's breathing so hard it's blowing snow underneath the door inside the cabin, and I go, man, that ain't no bear, and stuff like that. And then a couple of days later or so, this thing whatever it was, it started picking at my windows, and when I go to look, it wouldn't be there, and just stuff like that. It just it kept messing with me for quite a bit, and then there's been times I look out the window and don't see anything in the blizzard, and then all of a sudden you look out there, and then all of a sudden you just can't believe what you're looking at, and it's just hard to believe, Kenny, really. Like when I ran across those pictures of the tracks that I gave you, and when I ran across them, I went, oh boy, he went through here not too long ago, and you can tell he's bipedal right off the bat, and I go, man, if that's in there, what else is here? And which there was. Down the road, I poured another track that was some kind of human foot with three like big toe things on the end of it. I don't know what it is, and I've tracked, professional tracker, and there's just some things out there that I've captured and got on film. I don't know. It's just really weird, and I think I brought something back to the cabin as well a few times when I've been out there and come back. I've been out there for a few days, and then I come back. Hear something outside, and then I don't know if I think I sent you that video. I think of the of that Dogman like critter thing that came to our front door of our cabin. But that one picture that I sent to you that has the that Dogman critter like on it.
Yes.
The on that picture, it was around 2016, and this guy I know, he's a like a world traveler, and he knew this guy. He said, "Man," he said, "this guy, man, if he ever comes around, uh, he's into Bigfoot and all that stuff." And I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." So I got to know a little bit more about him, but he designs and builds cameras. And I thought, oh, wow, okay. And then that day came where he said, he called this guy, Jeff, called me and said, "Hey, my buddy Eric showed up. He's back from wherever it was, and he's here for a short while. And so he has this new camera he wanted to try out. And he said, you know, any places where we can get maybe where a Bigfoot Dogman running through or something?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Right, not too far from where these tracks, the one tracks that I showed you or got a picture of, and it's in the mud." We went up there and I placed this camera, and I've never seen anything like that. This camera. Um, he said, "You all you have to do with this camera is open the little switch or open this little door and just hit the on switch." And it was like a tubular canister type, like a military, and it had a ground stake on the bottom where you just shove it in the ground, and the top spun real slow to the right and then to the left and then back to the right, and it did that a few times, and then it would do a complete circle and then go back into the 45 increments. But I took it out and I planted it, and we went back, and that's when I went to the store, bought me a chip, and we got there. I went and pulled it. He put it in his laptop and downloaded what was on it onto my chip, and that's the images that I received from that tubular canister camera. Like I said, I don't. I've never seen that type before. Which I've seen two other different types, almost three different other types of these Dogman critters, whatever they call them. Some with a tail, some with, I mean, not a long tail, but just a tail, and some with no tail, and some with ears, some with no ears, and some with a longer muzzle, thinner, some with short, wider, fatter muzzles. But he was, he's different. That one there, he's different. And I don't know what yeah, he's like the other ones, but they're not. You know what I mean? The other ones are tall, slender, kind of muscly, and they're dark grayish and silver. The ones that I saw had a dark mange, like collar on his backside, and and then the other one at the cabin, he's brownish in color, goldish brown, and the one in the picture I sent you, in the one in the pit, he's black and gray, and wide. He's got the fat muzzle, short muzzle, and yeah, he's different too. And again, I don't see how I didn't, wasn't attacked at either time that I had captured these critters on film. The last one that I captured, the closest to date was the May 19th of 2023 down in the pit. That's what we call a pit. I was down in there and at the creek, bent over looking at some stuff, and I had my tablet sitting there, and I heard something behind me, and I turned around, looked, didn't see anything. I went back doing what I was doing, heard it again, looked back, didn't see anything again. So okay, this time I'll just wait, just until the noise get a little louder and louder and louder. And then I finally just turned my tablet on as I was knelt down there and had it on camera ready, and I just stood up. I put the camera or my tablet in front of my chest, and I turned around and didn't even look specifically where I was taking a picture. I just turned around and took a snap where I heard that noise from, and then I noticed what like 30 yards away, there he is, standing there looking at me, and and I just kept moving around, and I just knelt down and laid the tablet, and I put my hand on my Bowie knife there, and I thought, well, here it comes, any minute, and it's going to be bad, and I waited there a second or so, and I didn't hear anything, and next thing you know, I got up, turned around real slow, and I was like, where'd he go? I didn't hear him leave. And I went over there real easy. I walked over to that area where he was standing, and there was no tracks there. And it's like, well, where'd he go? I didn't hear him. I mean, he had to have jumped up from where it was at, but that's got to be at least 30 feet to the top of the cliff down in that pit. So it's like, where did he go? And which, of course, I've had some people that's been with me, and even a couple people on my team. We've been in the pit, and we've witnessed some weird things through the time and down in there. But yeah, other than that, that was it's just hard to believe what you're looking at when you're down there alone, and like I said, the other ones, like at the cabin, they would just harass you. You know what I mean? There was like 2 or 3 of them out there. One would be growling up the front, one would growl on the back, one would growl. It's up there near the roof area, behind the cabin, up on the hill, and like I said, every time I tried to capture it on film, they just seemed to, they see the beam or they see whatever, and I kept playing around with the beam on my camera, and I found out that I was using this this blue chromium. It's like almost kind of looks like saran wrap, but it's like blue chromium color, and I put that just over the lens, and I know it changed the spectrum of some kind because when it came to the front door of the cabin, for the first time, he peeks his head around the corner. You could see him. He peeks his head around the corner real quick and looks back, because not like the other 3 or 4 times that I've captured him on film, but he hadn't come out all the way around you could see his face. But this one you can. And he, like I said, he's different. Like I said, the one in the pit. And again, you know, there at the cabin, it's just, when I was writing that music for Atlantic, uh, they would show up. I got my ledger on my calendar of from January, February, and most of March. Almost, if it wasn't every day, it was every other day. Something or these things would show up at the cabin, and I'd either hit the cabin with a rock or or a big log, and I captured logs flying in, hitting the deck, um, and big growls, uh, howling, and some weird howls. Never heard, never before. I don't know what they could be. Um, I kind of know what they could be. uh, but when you're alone out there, you just don't know what's going to happen, and each time I had to go out and get firewood. Um, and it just seemed like sometimes, when I hear something out there or the low growl, it's like, daggone, I gotta, well, I'm not going out there to get no firewood tonight. I just, I just get the electric heater and hope the electric don't go out, and plug it in and close off sections, and just spend the night there, waiting to see what they're going to do next. It's like they just keep messing with you and keeping you up, and because it just doesn't no good if you keep going running from window to keep looking to see where they're at, because you hear them but you don't see it, and then they'll stay right but in the forest line, right in between where there's between light and darkness. There they seem to like to hide like that, and but then you hear the Bigfoot out there. I've captured him, roaring, and which the same thing as the Dogman. I got the recording. I don't know if did you get those. I don't know if I sent that to you or not. One, I was outside with the flashlight. You can see with the cameras on, um, and you can hear that Dogman, whatever it was, that critter roar 2 or 3 times out there. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to see where he's, because at the time, in the beginning, I was pretty near scared of it, and as time went, I just started to get an attitude, because half the time you want to get no sleep. They come up and growl and thump, bang, hit the cabin, and you're like, "Get out of here!" You're yelling, yelling, and it just don't do no good. And it's like I don't know what their objective was. I think it's like I don't know if it was trying to say, we're get out, or they're calling me out because they've peed on the cabin. They've slashed both of my big trees in my driveway, and one going up the steps to the cabin, and so and one took a frontal bite out of the tree, like 8 feet up, right by our fire ring, in one of our young trees there at the cabin. And like I said, at the time I don't know. I don't know what he was up to. I don't know if he's saying, get out, or he's calling me out. But every time I've been outside, late at night during the snowstorms, or summertime or whatever, they've had plenty of chances to attack, but they don't, and that's really weird. I don't understand that, because I've got pictures of black bear, 10 feet from me. I've been laying there on the ground, and a ghillie come up, and usually, I mean, they'll just move along their way, but not this thing. It's like it just moves. It's like it's like tactical. Like it's been taught tactical. But again, I'm not. That's I'm not no dogman or expert or anything like that. I'm a Bigfooter, and but I did capture on film one where I captured a Bigfoot youth, and he's probably maybe 3 feet tall, and to the right of him is a youth dogman thing, and they're together, and I don't know if they were playing together or not, because when I came up on them, all I saw was the dogman critter looking at me, and I had my tablet in front of me right there, and when I was getting ready to take the picture, that little Bigfoot you just leaned over and looked right at me when I snapped that picture, and and then they both scampered off into the woods there, and caught that clean as day. I don't know if okay, yeah, like I said, no, I don't know if they're playing together, but I know they're together, because when I was there, when I come walking up to that spot, the the little dogmaker didn't even run away when I came up and saw him, and that's when I brought my tablet up, and he was still sitting there, and I thought, he's gonna let me take his picture. Oh my god, and right when I went to take it, that little Bigfoot popped his head right around and leaned right around, just leaned over from the tree. I didn't even know he was there, and I must have disturbed them playing or something. I don't know, but they were together, and that theory of the Bigfoot being with the dog man or this thing, whatever. Well, I don't know all about that, but I got a picture of them together. I don't have any answers other than that, But like I said, even in the beginning, Kenny, this stuff wasn't for the public. I mean, my Bigfoot stuff, even my wife, she didn't even know that I did Bigfoot. And everybody that I grew up with, my best of friends, this, that, and the other, my musician friends, even the ones I went on tour with and everything, I never told anybody about my hobby, because that's what I call it. It's my hobby. And me and my brother Rusty, he's the one that really got me going in this. And like I said, we made a promise to one another. This wasn't for money. This ain't for money. This ain't for the public. This is just for us and just family and maybe a couple of friends or so, personal friends. And it wasn't meant for the public until a picture leaked out, and then somebody asked to prove it, and so I proved it, and I had to keep proving other things, and I just tell people, I said, I told them when I had these classes, I said that I give in Bigfoot. I don't charge anything. I said, if you want to see or maybe come and witness something, Well, come on out, and you see for yourself. And I've had some people come out, and it don't happen all the time, but I've had some people got nervous. I had people cry and run, and some people just run, or they got real scared, or but yeah, just that's why I tell people, you just got to come out and see for yourself. I'm not holding anything back on saying, well, you can't come out and see where my locations, or I don't want you to stomp around. Well, these are not really hunting locations. It's just places in the forest. You just in the national forest, you just go into. And I tell people, you want to get an experience. Um, you want something to come up on you. Take the time, go out into the national forest by yourself, and no campfires, no lights, no nothing except maybe. Well, I usually carry a 45 and a wooden staff, and you go out there and just sit down, sit along by a tree and just sit down, get cozy, and spend the night maybe an eighth of a mile, quarter mile from the center of the national forest out there alone. And then you tell me what you think you hear, or what you see, or what comes up to you. And because with you got somebody else with you, or two, three other people, you might hear some things, and whatnots or whatever. But most of your encounters are probably going to be good encounters. Is going to be by yourself, actually. Because, like I said, I've spent hardcore time out there, and which I'm thankful to where I'm disabled veteran, and now I can stay out. Uh, it takes days out there, and not going out. Hey, let's going to go out for the weekend, and yeah, we're going to go out there and Bigfoot hunt, Dogman. Yeah. Well, you might get a tree knock, you might get a whoop or a Bigfoot fart, whatever. But if you really want really, really, really good stuff, you're going to have to do it alone. Um, and no fires, no smells, no odors, no deodorant, none of all that stuff. And you'll see actually what comes up in the middle of the night and here. And hope you're there. You don't have to get up a tree, to document it. So there's there's things out there. Like I said, I like that howler. He still gets me every time. I've never seen anything like that critter. Uh, he had to been. I was laying down on a ledge, 8 feet in front of him, or 10 feet in front of me was an 8 foot drop off ledger, and he was at least 4 foot higher as he was walking by when he stopped in front of me. And he burned up over 3 hours of tape standing there. Wasn't even looking at me. He was staring way down there at the bottom of that hill where that old hound dog was bellowing at him. I think he smelled him, but this thing had all the colors of all the fall leaves of the forest. And then when the clouds went over the sun, he went into a black and white mode. He blended with all the sticks and the limbs and the dark stuff. But when the sun hit him, he just glistened like a light bulb of multicolors. I've never seen anything like that. And like the hair on that Dogman critter down there in the pit, he had he had unique black, like blue black hair, wiry type too. But the other ones, they had coats like like a wolf would have, you know, not the wiry look, you know what I mean? And that's what was really weird. And I'm like, and the whole time, Kenny, I'm thinking, where are things coming from? I mean, it'd be different if I saw 2 or 3 of the same kind, like you see in the coyote pack, or no, everyone I've seen has been different, and I'm like, I don't have any answers for that. Like I do the Bigfoot. I haven't seen any red ones. I've seen some brown, black, and some gray and silver type, but not. It just seems now where, I was running from the hilltops, tracking, following Wood Talk, what the Bigfoot leaves, for directions, and following it, and they went from the hills down to the lower flats, and they were running the creeks, and it's like but then when I'm running the creeks, and then all of a sudden I see these tracks of something else, that I have no clue, and they are predator, stalker, and you can tell they're no fruit, nut, and berry eater. These things got long claws, and or like that track that I picture of that track I sent you. I think the human foot with the 4 claws on it. Kenny, did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, what is that? Is that a Dogman? Because the Dogman tracks that I pour, man, don't look like that. Now maybe it is. I don't know. But not the tracks that I've seen. They were the ones that I've seen. They're like 11 inch by 11 inch, like big dog track, but it's not a big cat. Like I said, with that there, I don't. And then that track there with the human foot with the 4 claws, it was heading south on the creek bank, heading toward Hocking County, and the other track was about 1/8 of a mile down the west of the creek, heading north, and that was the one with the human foot with the 3 big toe-like things on it. So I'm like, what are these 2 things now? You know what I mean? And when the time I poured them, they were fresh. They had to have been in the area when I poured it. So, and again, you're like, that's fresh. It's got to be here, or it's probably watching me. And the whole time, like I said, you're all alone out there, and you got to keep an eye and listen. I mean, sharp. You just don't know what is going to come over up to holler at you, or down from a hilltop, or into a big thicket. You just don't know. So that's why I try to carry a 10-foot staff with me, or just in case of. I usually carry around just in case of a bear, but I don't have any problems with any bears at all, or anything else. But it's just but when you're out there, I don't know, and it's like my partner, Dave Levering, that's on my team. He's my skeptic. I hired a skeptic on my team, and he just called me just the other day and said that him and his buddy were out fishing, and he heard this, and he couldn't understand. He couldn't believe what he was hearing, and then he went to grab his phone, and he dropped it and hit the bottom of the boat. And he said the sound stopped, but when he picked up his phone and started recording it, they started doing it again, but he caught the tail end of it. And so what he captured, he still doesn't know, but he's never heard it before. And I've yet to get with him to plug in my earphones into his phone to really get to hear what he captured. So, like I said, there are things out there. Whether people believe it or not, Kenny. There are. I mean, you're out there, and then all of a sudden you hear this roar, growl, and you know that you're like, oh my God! You're like, man, like the intents of like 10 lions growling. You know, it was like so powerful that there's no way a human could bellow like that, or person. It's just incredible. And then, like I said, those growls. Did you hear them growls, Kenny?
That I did, my friend.
Yeah. And like I said, that the recordings don't do no justice. Like I said, but the growls are so loud that inside the cabin, you know, your feet, you know, you can feel your feet vibrating in your tennis shoes. Like I said, the growls is just, and they were like a growl talk. They were, um, I never heard anything like it. And the decibels, I just don't know how low that is. It's just incredible. And like I said, I had you know, friends put it on their thing and listen to it, and then it just smacked clear at the bottom, and they're like, "Whoa!" You know, it's like how deep does that growl go, the dB? And like I said, I just been wanting to find that out for the longest time, and just like at the time when I was trying to figure out the Bigfoot on why he was not eating but pulling up wild mustard shoots and like sucking on them from the bottom to the tip and just throwing them down, and I couldn't. For the longest time, that for years, I couldn't figure out what he was doing that for. And then I finally found out, and it was just, oh, are you kidding me? And the aphids lay their eggs underneath the wild mustard leaves, and the Bigfoot would suck them out and eat them, and the aphid eggs contribute to intestinal problems, curing. You know what I mean? Solving intestinal problems. So it's like a medicinal thing they eat for the Bigfoot. But like I said, I just, you know, I'd like to find out some more on this Dogman thing, on what his traits are. Basically, I probably, you know, what he eats. He knows he eat deer and the rest of it, but because I haven't ran across any Dogman dens or anything like that, Kenny. That's another thing that's weird. I have tracked miles and miles out there and not seen a den of any kind. And I've seen them in the area, but where's the den? Where are they going? They going underground? I I don't know, and I just don't know. Now the Bigfoot, you can see where he's, you know, gone in and up out of a creek, and you can see where he's built an old nest that he tore up where he slept in. Remnants of where he's been around. But as far as the Dogman, nope. I haven't seen anything. I don't know. I don't know if they leave symbols or follow or this, that. But all I know out the window, it's some kind of like maybe communication. I don't know. They one would through the trees, you see his ears flicking backwards, and another one come running up, and one the one that came running up, you know, kind of did a couple snaps with his teeth, you know, chomp chomp, you know, whatever they do, and then one turns to the right and takes off, and then the other one is still standing there, and then when you go to the other side to see where you ran to, time to go back, that one's gone, and it's like okay, well that was some kind of symbol or gesture or something, maybe communication or whatever. Just by the way he flicked his ears back, and the other one come running up, and the other one snapped, you know, looking in that direction he was looking at, and then took off to the right. I don't know.
Great questions, Black.
Yeah, like I said, and I got a lot of stuff, you know, for on like that for questioning. It's like, but I do know they throw rocks because that one that was out there, when I couldn't figure out I thought it was a Bigfoot throwing a rock. But then when I saw the shadow take off over the hill, well, I could see it was one of them Dogman critter things. He's the one doing it that time.
Yeah, that's creepy. What I'll do for you, my friend, is as soon as I get this episode out here, I would definitely like to get you back on to talk more about your experiences. But then I will also set up something where I can grab a few members of my science team, or at least one of them, and get them to sit down with us on a call where you can ask some questions. I know we are starting to tie this up here tonight, yet I can give you a couple quick answers to help you out. This is just my personal thought with members of my science team. Yes, the elongated foot that looks like a human foot with the claws, those are what we believe are Dogman footprints, because if something is going to be bipedal consistently or comfortably, it has to have a foot designed like ours, or also like a baboon or something. That is just my thought. Yes, we have reports of auburn red looking ones, jet black ones, smoky gray ones. We've had reports of ones that are absolutely pitch black. We have reports of blue eyes, green eyes, red eyes, yellow eyes. I also will send you a chart, meaning we have reports that look like bears, which hence called bearilla. We have baboon / gugway, dogman looking creatures. We have hyena looking ones. We have German shepherds. We have ones that look like the Howling or Van Helsing. What I also will encourage you to do when you get some free time, just go through my playlists. And if you click on the science team, I would like to think all my hosts and guests have great information that will help you out. But if you specifically would like to listen to scientists, then go to my science section where you will hear our environmentalists, our geologist, our biologist, our tracker, our mental health expert, our cryptozoologist, our paleontologist, and spelunker. All of them will be down in that section. So they should be able to also help answer a lot of questions for you just by listening. Yeah, like I said, I will definitely set up something where I will get you in touch on our show to talk to my science team. And also in the next couple of weeks here, we'll get you back on too.
Sweet. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, heck yeah, my friend. Appreciate you.
Like I said, that I think we probably burned up over time, didn't we?
We still have a little bit of time left if you'd like to touch on anything else before we let you get going.
Well, you got any questions, Kenny? You want to ask me, or what I've seen in the field, or questions on any the other pictures, or if you can see all the pictures that I've got, Kenny, you would just be like, wow, how is it possible? I ain't kidding. I'm not kidding you a bit. I mean, even me, I was like, how is it possible that I was able to capture all these critter things that I have captured? But again, like I said, the only thing I can say is, one, being alone. Two, I was in the right area where they come through the national forest and cross over to the other section. I'm right in the middle of that run. And again, I got pictures of the live video of the howler. I got the live video of this gugwee thing, or whatever they call the Bigfoot, with the fangs things. And I got the picture of the southeastern Ohio grassman, and a picture of the southeastern Ohio Bigfoot. And I got a picture of this, whatever they call this, a gugwee, whatever. Like I said, I don't know. It was like the year of the cryptids is what I called it. Because it just in 2018, man, like I said, it's just when all them Bigfoot things came through after that big winter storm that hit, and trees were down all over the place, and there they come. They come walking right up through the valley, walking up through the, I guess it was like a clan, maybe a clan of them. And I captured the tail end of them coming up through, going to the other side. And, like I said, it's just so much stuff that I've captured on audio, video, and film. And it's all been captured, like I said, on the high 8. The camera's over 30 years old. The tapes are brand new. But like I said, you can't really you can't mimic on high 8. Or it's just true whatever you're filming. You can't manipulate it. And I like using it. And everything that I've captured, usually a lot of it, everything else I've captured was with that old style cameras, and but through night vision, when you put up trail cameras, you can see anything glowing when they flash. It's just like a meteor hit, and you can see the beam out there and everything. And that's why the Bigfoot don't like them. Sometimes when people say, "I got like 500 pictures on here of nothing," and so you probably just held a stick out in front of it and just kept watching it, moving that stick past you. You ain't gonna be able to get a picture of it, but he'd like to see the flash go off. You're probably done playing with it. He just knocks it off a tree or smashes it in the ground, But like I said, I wish I would have seen one time where I saw that Bigfoot dart over this hilltop, and he got this deer, and I wish I'd have got to see that, because I didn't hear no noise. I didn't hear a squeak, squeal, nothing. And then I thought he was coming out the bottom of the hill down there on the left, but nope, clear off to the right. There he's booking up every side along the creek with the over on his shoulder, just moving. And I wish I'd have seen it. Did he tackle it? Did he pommel it? What? Like I said, I just wish I'd have got to see that. But like I said, I've only seen like 9 Bigfoot in my entire life, and I've seen these 3 or 4 different types of dogmen, and a couple other critters. And like I said, my question is where are these other critters bunking? Where are they? Where are they nesting? Where are they hiding? Because I've looked in caves, I've looked in, just everywhere, in the deep thickets to, long creeks that's impassable to even not even walk through damn near hardly to even canoe through. Just looking for any kind of nestings of any kind, or any kind of bunker den of any type, and I'm not seeing nothing, Kenny. And that's what I want.
Great questions, my friend. You're not the only one out there with a whole bunch of these questions like that, which I do encourage you to definitely link up with some of the people I can get you in touch with. Also, check out the information we do have out there. It should help you out for the moment until we can get some more clarity in your direction. Also, now to answer your question, I think you hit on everything I would have asked without me even having to ask. So I do appreciate you sharing everything you did tonight, my friend. I know you are an extremely busy guy as well. Also, make sure to thank your wife for getting us linked up here. I'm going to do my outro here in a second, but don't hang up. It has to upload for a second. It takes about 2 minutes after. So don't hang up and we'll just touch base, okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, Richard will be back, yet he is a very busy individual and needs to get back to things he also needs to attend to. No worries, though. Hopefully, we can get Richard on at least every few weeks or monthly to keep us updated as to what is occurring on his property. Yet until next time, this will be the conclusion of the meeting of the Midnight Society for the early hours of the morning. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, I'm glad to be some kind of help. Like I said, I just I wish, I know the crowd out there would probably really like to hear something, like he almost attacked me. I was trying to get in the door type of thing. But like I said, in these cases, it's just, it wasn't that case with me. I didn't, I mean, sure, yeah, I was scared, and had the AK-47 in the camper and, there by me. And, like I said, you just don't know what, a wild beast critter is going to do. And you just got to, I always say stay frosty. Because if he does come in, yeah, if you do get rounds off and he does come, it's gonna hurt really bad. It's gonna be ugly. Yeah, because these things they're over 7 feet tall, man. They're lightning fast.
Ooh, my creatures of the night. Yes, I do appreciate every single one of you, and thank you for hanging out tonight. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share the truth to the algorithm. Yes, I will catch you very soon, so keep your head on a swivel.